What's good, Kanekis? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. We messed up. We messed up. As a society, we messed up by picking government over God. Now, those of you who are long-time subscribers will know that I'm Christian, and I've incorporated a lot of Christian values and teaching scripture as well into my economics videos. I think the most recent one I did was on silver and why silver is going to outshine gold. But this one I'm going to be talking about how we messed up, how our ancestors, our forefathers messed up by picking human rulers, picking governments to rule over us instead of God. All of these scriptures are from the Old Testament. So this is basically BC, the period BC before Christ, the birth of Jesus. And it's quite pertinent because a lot of the things that's written here is what's going on now. So it's from four places, four parts of the Old Testament, all within Judges, and then the last one is within Ecclesiastes. The first one is the longest one, so bear with me. But I think there is a lot of truth here. Even if you are atheist, even if you're agnostic, if you're not even Christian, I think a lot of these statements you will find that they ring true today. So let's get into it. Let's get straight into it. So this first one is from 1 Samuel 8, with the headline, "The people asked for a king." When Samuel grew old, he made his sons judges in Israel. The older son was named Joel, and the younger one Abijah. They were judges in Beersheba. But they did not follow their father's example. They were only interested in making money. So they accepted bribes and did not decide cases honestly. Then all the leaders of Israel met together, went to Samuel in Ramah, and said to him, "Look, you're getting old and your sons don't follow your example. So then, appoint a king to rule over us, so that we will have a king, as other countries have." Let's do what the other countries are doing just because. Samuel was displeased with their request for a king, so he prayed to the Lord. And the Lord said, "Listen to everything the people say to you. You are not the one they have rejected. I am the one they have rejected as their king. Ever since I brought them out of Egypt, they have turned away from me and worshipped other gods, and now they are doing to you what they have always done to me. So then, listen to them, but give them strict warnings and explain how their kings will treat them." This is where it gets tasty. Samuel told the people who were asking him for a king everything the Lord had said to him. "This is how your king will treat you." Replace king with government, because that's typically what all countries have today. I know the UK still has like the whole royal system. Samuel explained, "He will make soldiers of your sons. Some of them will serve in his war chariots, others in his cavalry, and others will run before his chariots. He will make some of them officers in charge of 1,000 men, and others in charge of 50 men. Your sons will have to plow his fields, harvest his crops, and make his weapons and the equipment for his chariots." Plow his fields, harvest his crops. Today, think of it as taxes. We will work all day to pay taxes that go to fund the military complex. Your daughters will have to make perfumes for him and work as his cooks and his bakers. He will take your best fields, vineyards, and olive groves and give them to his officials. Once again, taxes. He will take your servants and your best cattle and donkeys and make them work for him. He will take 1/10 of your flocks, taxes, and you yourselves will become his slaves. When that time comes, you will complain bitterly because of your king, whom you yourselves chose, but the Lord will not listen to your complaints." The people paid no attention to Samuel, but said, "No, we want a king. Despite all the things you're saying, we still want a king, so that we will be like other nations, with our own king to rule over us and lead us out to war and to fight our battles." So it was all led by bloodthirst. Samuel listened to everything they said, and then went and told it to the Lord. The Lord answered, "Do what they want and give them a king." Then Samuel told all the men of Israel to go back home. We rejected the Lord, and now we're paying for it. This is BC, by the way. BC. And we're still paying for it. We're still paying the consequences. High taxes, loss of freedoms, loss of liberty, and ongoing wars. Of course, there were wars back in the day, but they were much shorter. Usually, if you kill the ruler, if you kill the leader of the opposition, the enemy, the war was done. But now, because of fiat currencies, they can print it ad infinitum. The wars never end. We have infinity wars, endless wars. What's going on in the Middle East? What's going on in Russia, Ukraine, some parts of Africa as well. Just endless wars, endless wars. It keeps going because the printer just keeps running. And it's paid for by our taxes as well. So that's another thing that the passage mentioned. Let's go to the next one. The next one is much shorter. It's from another part of Judges 8:23. Gideon answered, I will not be your ruler, nor will my son. The Lord will be your ruler. So for context, Gideon was one of the soldiers who ruled over Israel for a period of time. And he said, no, he doesn't want to be the head of Israel. He doesn't want to be the king. He doesn't want to be the ruler. The people should choose God instead. The next part, Judges 9:6-15. So this one is more of a parable. It's more of a visual thing that actually came to pass later on in the story. But we're going to focus on this one, Judges 9:6-15, and it reads, Then all the men of Shechem and Beth Millo got together and went to the sacred oak tree at Shechem, where they made Abimelech king. When Jotham heard about this, he went and stood on top of Mount Gerizim, or Gerizim, I don't know, and shouted out to them, Listen to me, you men of Shechem, and God may listen to you. Once upon a time, the trees went out to choose a king for themselves. They said to the olive tree, Be our king. The olive tree answered, In order to govern you, I would have to stop producing my oil, which is used to honor gods and human beings. Then the tree said to the fig tree, You come and be our king. But the fig tree answered, In order to govern you, I would have to stop producing my good sweet fruit. So the trees then said to the grapevine, You come and be our king. But the vine answered, In order to govern you, I would have to stop producing my vine that makes gods and human beings happy. So notice once again, it's a parable. When they say the trees, these are people who have gone to upstanding figures in society and asked them, please be our king. And they say, no, in order to govern you, I would have to stop being the good, upstanding citizen because power corrupts. Being a ruler, one man, or a small group of people ruling over the fate of a nation is too much power for a human being or a group of human beings. It's way too much power. Then it ends by saying this. So then all the trees said to the thorn bush, You come and be our king. The thorn bush answered, If you really want to make me your king, then come and take shelter in my shade. A thorn bush. Come and take shelter in my shade. What leaves does the thorn bush have? If you don't, fire will blaze out of my thorny branches and burn up the cedars of Lebanon. If we don't pick government rule, if we don't pick kings, they will raise the country to the ground. And Abimelech ended up doing that actually. It was quite prophetic, this parable. He ended up burning the city. This is some scary stuff. Hey, listen, like, don't say there isn't wisdom in the Bible. Ecclesiastes, it has the headline, Life is Useless. Ecclesiastes is known to be quite, maybe not depressing, but quite realistic view of the world. So Ecclesiastes 5:8 goes like this. Don't be surprised when you see the government oppresses the poor and denies them justice and their rights. Every official is protected by someone higher, and both are protected by still higher officials. They can't be touched. That's why when you see someone in the government doing something bad or nefarious, they don't end up going to jail. They just get a pat on the wrist or a slap on the wrist, and they're sent on their way. Heck, what's her name? I can't remember her name, but the head of the EU. She's supposedly a criminal. I'm not kidding. She's a criminal. I think she got found for fraud or something, but she's the head of the EU. As you can see, it says that the government oppresses the poor. Today, with the welfare state, really they're oppressing the middle class because the middle class gets squeezed. So they end up paying for the benefits for the poor. The rich end up leaving, so they have to pay more taxes. And it's just a squeeze on the middle class, really. Guys, I mean, if by the end of this video you still think government rule is something we should have, hey, I don't know what to say to you, but even in Austrian economics, a lot of the videos I have done on economics are actually based on Austrian economics school of thought. And it says that government intervention is a bad thing. Government should be kept as small as possible to ensure that people maintain their liberty. They shouldn't have control of the currency. They really shouldn't have control of the currency. Oh my gosh. That's why the values of currencies are in the toilet. They're in the gutter right now. So the fact that the Bible scripture is backing this up, once again, this is from years, several years ago. We're talking before the birth of Christ, several millennia ago. And it's warning people, don't choose government rule over God. And also notice how in Samuel, if I just go back to this one, God said, do what they want and give them a king. That's the free will. He isn't forcing us. He isn't forcing us to choose his rule, his good will. He's given us free will to choose. Would government give us free will to choose? if 10,000 people went out protesting right now, and they all said we no longer want to be ruled by government, we no longer want to pay our taxes, what do you think would happen? And that's the group of people we want to be ruled by, not God. Hey, I don't know, man, but personally, I've already made my choice. So I'm going to end this one with a quote from Henry David Thoreau. Typically, this quote has been attributed to Thomas Jefferson, but apparently he's the original one who said it. And it goes like this. Government is best which governs least, and I should like to see it acted up to more rapidly and systematically. Carried out, it finally amounts to this, which also I believe. The government is best which governs not at all. And when men are prepared for it, that will be the kind of government which they will have. Until then, we're still going to have the government that taxes us, goes to war, and spends beyond the means. So until we're ready to be sovereign individuals, to make the nuclear family the most important thing, more important than the government and nanny state, we're unfortunately going to have a government that keeps dwindling and reducing our liberty and freedoms. So how do you get out of this? How do you opt out of it? First, by not saving long term in the currency, because that's how inflation is a stealth tax, it's another form of tax. So by saving long term in the currency, we're also indirectly funding all the wars. We're already paying taxes. I think that's enough funding. So opt out by, once again, buying gold and silver. And I'm going to speak to Lynette Zhang on Wednesday, actually, so in a few days. She talks a lot about community, so do be sure to watch that interview, because I think a lot of what she says is centered around personal freedoms, individual, what's the word I'm looking for? Autonomy. It's centered around autonomy. So be your own person, be your own sovereign, rely on the state as little as possible. Look out for each other, look out for your next man, for your brethren. Don't just rely on the government to fix everything, because that's not what they're there for. They are the thorn bush. They are the thorn bush. They're not the olive tree, they're not the grapevine. They are the thorn bush. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you did. Share it out. And honestly, I think this is probably, this video just sums up every video I have done on the government. I just think, I just think any video I do henceforth is just going to be complaining about something that we now know is inevitable. Government is not going to save us. They're not going to rule us properly. We should be opting for God's rule. So thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.